Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Nur Ajanatun Nadiha binti Rohizat.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, madam. My name is Nur Fatim binti Mahmud.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Irwan Afandi bin Muhammad.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Aina Farha binti Zamri.
Hi, my name is Nur Syafiqah Adeline binti Abdurrahmi.
Introduction. Unit Zakat UiTM Terengganu requests a database system to manage zakat application from students. Zakat is one of the financial sources available to help unfortunate students continue their studies. Each semester, Unit Zakat receive application from students from various backgrounds. The staff need to verify whether the applicant qualified to receive zakat based on certain criteria, so we are here to help them. Company background. University Technology Mara UiTM is one of the local universities in Malaysia. UiTM is also one of the largest university in Malaysia in terms of population, size and system. UiTM only accept Bumiputra as the student. University Technology Mara UiTM Terengganu Kampus Dungun is one of the first branch of UiTM in Malaysia. It was established in July 1975 in Dungun, Terengganu, Darul Ilman as the main campus of UiTM Terengganu branch. UiTM Dungun has 9 faculties and offer program ranging from pre-diploma and Doctor of Philosophy PhD.
Since there are so many applicants of Zakat UiTM Terengganu from different backgrounds, the staff are facing difficulties in managing the database through manual in order to run it effectively and accurately. There are 4 major problems that staff face, which are: first is time consuming. Our staff may take up a lot of time when enter the data manually. It also can make our staff lost because typing in a lot of information is so tricky. Second is risk of incorrect formatting, which is sometimes manual data can lead our staff make a lot of problems, such as statistics and figure are filled in wrongly. It may cause more time to be taken to settle the problem. As we know, the data entry is one of the most impressive organizational tools when carried out correctly. Third is human error. Human error means since there are so many data to key in by the staff, there are so many mistakes are made by them, which are spelling, grammar and punctuation. They may have their finger on the wrong key or they could have a workplace distraction. Lastly is missing item. Missing item is the staff usually will be handling invoice, bills and other important documents. With the document being sorted, delivered and filled, it is always have something to go missing. While the file is missing, they lead to financial penalty and strained relationship with the client.
Next, I will explain our database objective. First, to identify level of eligibility of student to receive zakat. Second, to help unfortunate student to continue their studies. Third, to help staff to differentiate application from the same student. Fourth, to ensure that qualified student can receive zakat. And last, to prevent student from providing false information.
And next is ERT. So the first table is stable students. Based on the business rule, each students may apply for zakat in every semester, but each zakat application only belongs to one student. So the relationship type is one-to-many and the relationship itself is weak. Next is each staff may verify many applications, but each applications can only verify by one staff. And the relationship type is one-to-many. The relationship is weak. Next is each parent may have many children, but each students have only one parent. The relationship type is one-to-many and the relationship is weak. And next is each student may have many siblings, but each siblings only have one student. The relationship type is one to many, and the relationship is weak. And lastly, each student may have other sponsor, and one sponsor only belong to one student. The relationship type is one to one, and the relationship is weak.
Okay, so now I will continue with 3NF relational scheme. 3NF means third normal form, which is a relationship is in third normal form if it is in 2NF and no non-key attribute is transitively dependent on the primary key. In third normal form, we have student, which is consists student ID, name, faculty, program, hometown, account balance, and CGPA. Second, we have applicants, which is consists app ID, date, semester, student ID, and staff ID. Third is staff, which is consists staff ID, staff name, telephone number, and email address. Fourth is parent, which is consists parent IC, parent name, address, telephone number, occupation, salary, and number of dependent children. Fourth is sibling, which is consists sibling IC, name, relation, age, status, occupation, and student ID. Last is sponsor, which is consists sponsor ID, name, and student ID.
Okay, number one, the proper solution. The staff have to use the database because it is much easier when them have to find the data for applicant. Number two, cleans data over time. There is sometimes the data may change regularly, which is the number phone and address. So when using database, there is much accurate to the staff to stay accurate with applicant data. Number three, monitor the process. It will help the staff to consistent in monitoring the applicant's data. With this systematic system, they can avoid the repeated mistakes that is common with the applicant's data.
So, I will explain about data dictionary. Data dictionary is centralized repository of information about data, such as meaning, relationship to the other data, origin, usage, and format. Based on the slide, in data dictionary, we have table name, attribute name, content, data type, and file properties. So we took a table name from Access for this case study, and so we have table application, table parents, table sibling, table sponsor, and table student and table staff. So for attributes name, we put attribute from the data from on the table. For example, for table application, we have application underscore ID, application underscore name, application underscore semester as a attribute for table application. For the content, we explain the attribute name. For example, application underscore ID represent as application code. And then we have data type. For example, char, varchar, and hyperlink or URL. And last but not least, we have file properties. For example, in the table application, application underscore ID as an attribute is a primary key. The primary key contains unique identifier each record in a table. primary key must contain unique value and cannot contain null value. A table can have only one primary key. We also have foreign key. Foreign key is used to link two tables together. A foreign key is a field in one table that refers to the primary key in another table. So based on this application table, student underscore ID and staff underscore ID is a foreign key.
Okay, form and subform. First of all, form is a database object that you can use to enter, display, or edit from data from a table or a query. You can use form to control access data, such as which fields of data are displayed, while subform is a form that is inserted in another form. The primary form is called mem form, and the form that is enclosed to in form is called the subform. Okay, to make the form, first you go to the create. When you open the access, you go to create and you choose form wizard. Then from that you can choose whichever table that you want to use. After that, if you want to do the subform, from the form that you have done, you go to you view as data sheet. Then you can you go to design tools and choose design, and there will be subform button. You can choose that and there and select whichever tables you want to be as the subform.
In conclusion, before this, unit Zakat UiTM Dungun use traditional filling data, so UiTM Dungun needs to update data manually time to time. There is a lot of disadvantage using traditional filling data method. For example, data redundancy and inconsistency, difficult in accessing data, and integrity problem. For its solution, Unit Zakat UiTM Dungun requests a database system to manage Zakat application from the student and will make it more easier to key in the data, and it will last longer. In this technology era, Unit Zakat UiTM Dungun should use the latest technology to always keep update. Unit Zakat UiTM Dungun also suggests to use computer file system rather than use manual file system, because it is difficult to use, and when used manual, it is easy to disappear. To be conclude, this project helped a lot to Unit Zakat UiTM Dungun to identify level of eligibility of student to receive zakat, and to help the staff to differentiate application from the same student. So that's all from us. Thank you, madam.